Well, for most of 2015, it seemed every few weeks or so, we were asking ourselves whether Deschutes Brewery had decided where it would be locating, and more importantly, was it Roanoke? Well, we now know, of course, that the Star City was the choice and that the beer maker will start construction on a major facility in 2019. But why Roanoke? Did the grassroots Deschutes to Roanoke campaign really make a difference? Well, I traveled to the company's headquarters in Bend, Oregon to find out.
Actually, I received this box during the courting period, and some gentleman wrote a song, and he included the lyrics in the box, created a couple of CDs with the song.
Michael Lalonde shows us the box full of stuff Roanoker sent him during the time Deschutes was trying to determine the location of its East Coast operation. Someone even added the company's logo to some familiar downtown icons.
And then there's all kinds of letters. There's signs, just all kinds of cool stuff that was sent to us from people around Roanoke.
Around Bend, there are clues as to the company's preference in living. And at this company, the employees' taste and lifestyle is almost as important as that of the beer. Outdoor amenities like the ones people in Bend, Oregon enjoy here on the Deschutes River are something that employees mentioned, and a big reason that the company selected Roanoke.
We really believe in collaboration as an organization and getting different people involved so that you have an alignment in an organization. That's really important to us.
The company needed an East Coast city which, like Bend, had good water, but they also needed a central location and transportation options, like interstates. Of course, they wanted good schools, a solid workforce, and then there was the X factor, the part that would make the company feel at home.
We looked at a lot of really terrific communities and beautiful communities, and and everybody's got some kind of economic package they're offering. It's like, set that stuff aside. Let's figure out what we need, because a year after we're open, that kind of stuff will be pretty meaningless. We need to figure out where we are supposed to be.
And remember what home is like there in Bend, where amazing outdoor adventure opportunities surround the city. You have really happy employees.
We work at a brewery and we live in Bend, Oregon. If you're not happy, I don't know, something's wrong.
So then we started going out and visiting. We started with about 30 different properties that we went and physically looked at with about 5 or 6 different people from our senior management team.
But this is a company where employees hang around after work, enjoying the fruits of their labor. And the company's culture club, made up of workers from every part of the operation, also came to visit Roanoke and the other finalists. Here, they went mountain biking. They hiked to Dragon's Tooth. They partied in downtown.
They came out, looked at the different properties, and then we came back to Bend, and as a group, we basically made a decision and went around the room and heard everybody's input on why they liked Roanoke. And then at about the same time, we had hashtag Deschutes to Roanoke campaign going on, which really felt good to us.
The people were as warm and generous and welcoming in Roanoke as any place we visited. And it continued, and the kind of grassroots campaigns that developed out of the community itself, they weren't people that were being paid to recruit us. They were people that genuinely thought we should be there.
We felt great about a town who really wanted us to come there, and it had all the attributes that we were looking for. And so we made that decision, and it's been great ever since.
And so a lot of people wanted to know, did it make a difference? And in the end, the Deschutes to Roanoke campaign did make a difference. I don't know if it was the overriding factor, but it, along with our outdoor amenities, may have separated Roanoke from some of the other finalists, and ultimately they chose Roanoke.
So Deschutes has the opportunity to play a big role in Roanoke and kind of reshaping and forming kind of what's to come.
Yeah, we talk a lot about the 108 jobs. That's almost beside the point. When you take a look really at the impact that the company has had there in Bend and the similarities between Bend and Roanoke, there is a reason for optimism, and we'll take a closer look at that starting tomorrow night at 6. In the meantime, we've posted a lot of additional information and interviews at WSLS.com.